I quit my job 3 years ago, and I thought I'd only be gone for 3 months. Somehow, those 3 months turned into 3 years. And the truth is, it wasn't freedom the whole way through. It was freedom, then joy, then anxiety, then confusion, and until where I am now, a completely different mindset altogether. I've always been a stubborn person. Even as a kid, I'd rather be wrong and get punished than admit that I was wrong. That part of me never really left. It just became more internal. Especially when it came to working a 9-to-5 job. I hated it, more than most people I know. To me, work felt like a cycle I couldn't escape. One day, then another, 1 week after another year, and another decade. It felt like being trapped. I love freedom and I crave variety in life. And I love getting lost in something I truly enjoy and care about. But work rarely gave me that. So 3 years ago, I quit. I told myself I'd travel for 3 months, then come back, maybe find another job. Well, as you can guess by now, I never really came back. At first, it felt amazing, like I was finally free. I traveled, I started doing more art, and for the first time in a long time, I felt that sense of flow again. I even thought, maybe I can do this for a living. Maybe I never have to work again. But that is when things started to shift. The moment I tried to turn it into something productive, it stopped being fun. It became pressure. I stared at a blank canvas and felt anxious instead of being excited. The same thing happened with YouTube. What started as sharing slowly became chasing views. The things that once brought me joy not bring me only anxiety. I knew I had to stop, but I didn't know how. I began to spiral down quickly. I constantly questioned my own choices and asked myself, did I make the wrong decision? This uncertain lifestyle made my habit of overthinking much worse. My biggest enemy then was the fear of the uncertainty. And slowly, I stopped enjoying everything, including traveling. So I tried to go back to something safe, design. I rebuilt my portfolio, created new projects, reached out to clients. I thought this is the logical next step. But then those familiar feelings came back, resistant, heavy, tight, and wrong. And that's when I realized something. I wasn't doing this because I loved it. I was doing it because I was scared. This pattern wasn't new. Deep down, I always knew what I wanted and what I didn't. But in reality, I'd rush for the safer option out of fear, and then feel stuck again because it wasn't true to me. This year, something shifted. I set an internal goal for myself to become mentally stronger. And over time, that goal guided me to understand my true feelings and have the courage to say no. I stopped trying to force an answer. I realized I don't have to figure everything out right now. Instead of pushing forward, I chose to pause. Not give up, just stop when something didn't feel right. And strangely, that's when things started to feel lighter. My energy slowly came back, so did my creativity. Painting and video creation became enjoyable again, and after that pause, I found myself able to look at design freelancing again, but this time with more patience and more grace. And then something unexpected happened. Within a few weeks of that internal shift, I started working on my first ever freelancing project. Eventually, I began to realize something. When I finally let go, I started to receive. Looking back, these 3 years weren't just straight line. They were messy, emotional, uncertain, but real. Growth is never linear, and we don't get to know if our choices are right the time we are doing it, because only in hindsight can we truly connect the dots. At this moment now, we can only move forward without being fully certain. And this moment right here and right now is the only thing we truly have. So, in this moment, what will you choose?